Hi, friend.
Hello, friend.
And hello, friends listening. Welcome to the Lost Girls podcast. I'm your host, Neva.
And I am your host, Maria.
Hi, Maria.
Hello, Neva. Ooh.
It's so good to see your face.
It is so good to see your face.
And, you know, if you want to see our faces, you could subscribe to our Patreon.
And you can see just how ratchet we look all the time.
That felt like a good plug there.
It did. It did feel like a good plug. Yeah. I have my real farmer chic happening today. I spent like all day with my new chickens. And so I'm like...
I love your braided pigtails.
Yes. I'm very farmery today.
Farmer Maria.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I have my LL Bean sweater.
Reppin'.
And my hair in a clip.
So is it farmery? Because I have a Carhartt hoodie. So
100%.
Yeah, so that makes me like officially farmy, right?
Yeah. You can't be a farmer without a Carhartt something.
Right, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the law.
I think it is the law. And I definitely wasn't looking at Carhartt overalls today online. It's fine.
You have to complete the ensemble.
Right. I got my lesbian hiking boots, and now I need orange Carhartt overalls to go with them. Clearly.
Yes. Obviously.
Come on.
It's the whole look.
It is totally the whole look. Anyway.
Well, what are we talking about today, Maria?
We are talking about the Jupiter and... Okay. Do you say Uranus or do you say Uranus? Because...
when I was a kid, I definitely said Uranus because shit's funny.
It's so funny, and I want to not laugh, but I feel like we need to acknowledge it because we're going to be saying it a lot this episode. Because
the first time I heard someone say Uranus, I was like, "What the fuck are you? What?"
Right, it's Uranus.
Then I'm like, "Oh,
that's better."
So I think I've started teaching myself to say Uranus because it sounds more dignified than Uranus.
Oh my god, I've been doing the same thing. Yeah, I'm like, okay, so it is the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. It happened at its peak yesterday, but it's been going for a little bit, and it's gonna go until June 20th, the summer solstice.
Oh, okay. I knew it had been a couple months that they were close together, and I knew that it would be a couple more months. So it's kind of like the peak was
yesterday.
Saturday, April 20th, but it's kind of like they're close enough to be called that.
A conjunction, yeah. Yeah, we were at the top of the bell curve on 420, baby. And...
Well, maybe we should answer the question, what is a conjunction?
I don't know, Neva.
What does that mean?
Why don't you tell us what a conjunction is? Because you have more notes than I do.
Yeah, totally. So you can actually see it. I think you could have seen it in the sky. Jupiter and Uranus just like coming together and looking like one point in the sky. And it's all from our perception as humans on this planet. If you were to go to a different spot in the solar system or in the cosmos, then everything would look totally different. So this is all our perception on this tiny blue dot that we call home. But a conjunction is literally when, in this case, Jupiter and Uranus, wherever they were in their cycle around the sun, they lined up perfectly in line with us. So it's like you could have drawn, in math class when you had to like plot points along a line.
Ooh, yeah.
That's what they were doing. And so they were perfectly in line on April 20th.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a good explanation? Lots of hand gestures.
I did, in fact, like the hand gestures. And once again, please subscribe to our Patreon to see all of Neva's fantastic hand gestures that accompany our dulcet tones. So
I think I explained it pretty well too.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. It was very good.
Yeah.
So the big like hullabaloo is that this hasn't happened in the last 14 years. So it happens every 14 years, but it hasn't happened in the sign of Taurus since 1941.
Yep.
Which is like a pretty big deal. And it comes with a lot of disruptive energy, notably marked by like the ground will literally move under your feet. And since the conjunction started, we've had like 3 motherfucking earthquakes where there shouldn't have been earthquakes. So one in the Northeast, which I felt and was insane. Yeah. So it's been very interesting, and I think we can expect some more earth disrupting events.
In the next couple months.
Yeah, in the next couple months.
Well, and if you know history, 1941 was the height of World War II.
Yep.
And I feel like I also read it's when when the United States finally started to feel like they were coming out of the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm.
Would
Yeah,
that
because
be
we
accurate?
like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because we like officially joined the war effort.
Right.
Because I think like World War II started a couple years before, and then the United States was like, "Nah, bro, we're good." And then in
Pearl Harbor.
yeah, and then in 41 they were like, "Oh no, we're involved now."
Yeah.
So yeah, so big year all around.
Yeah. So, if you think about what was happening,
In 1941 versus 2024,
too many parallels.
like, yeah,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Lots. It feels like there's war just everywhere right now, but
I know.
anyway,
Depressing news aside, should we talk about what each of the planets represents, just like astrologically?
yeah, I have one curiosity question for you before we dig into that. So I mean, I took down notes because I wanted to have something to talk about. But where would you rank your working knowledge of astrology? Like just being able to talk about it in like an everyday sort of situation, like beginner to advanced. Like where do you feel like your working knowledge is?
Okay, so if we're doing like a scale of 1 to 10, let's say, because I like number scales.
Yeah.
And 1 is like astrology. What's that? Is that my sign? And 10 is like, I can tell you what your house and meaning and transits and the degrees and all the fun stuff. I would probably rank myself like a 6.
Okay. I think I would put me around there too.
Yeah, like I know a bunch.
I know my own stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I know my own stuff and my kids really well.
Yeah.
But to like talk about it, I would have to like look up certain things. If so, like offhand, if someone was like, what does your first house signify? And if I have this in the first house, what does that mean? And like, well, I know what it means for me.
Right.
But I don't necessarily know what that means for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I can definitely talk about my own stuff, but that doesn't mean I can explain anyone else's to them, probably.
Right. Yeah, because if you're talking, there's 12 houses, there's 12 zodiac signs. That's 144 combinations you'd have to potentially memorize. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. And I think, honestly, for my own purposes, knowing mine and my wife's is plenty.
Yeah.
For my day-to-day life.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah.
So
you're around yeah, okay. So we're like a little more than average, but
yeah. But
I
yeah,
like
we're gonna talk about Jupiter and Uranus today.
Okay. Do you have
it's relevant.
A preference to which planet you'd like to describe?
You know what? I think I'd like to talk about Jupiter.
Get it. Okay, tell us about Jupiter, Neva.
Okay, so each planet is ruled by a zodiac sign. And Jupiter is ruled by Sagittarius, which I know about Sagittarius because my wife is a Sagittarius. Jupiter typically is represented by luck and expansion. Okay. And the reason I wanted to talk about Jupiter, and we're not going to talk about houses today.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's too much. But I just wanted to note that Jupiter entered my 10th house, which is career and reputation, at the beginning of my Kickstarter.
Oh, damn.
Which
Your
is
extremely successful Kickstarter, Neva? Is
my
that the one we're talking about?
extremely 129% funded Kickstarter.
Yes, 129%. Man, love numbers. Okay.
Yes. Anyway, so there's our first fun tangent. So Jupiter stays in one sign for about a year. So it's not just now entering Taurus. I feel like it's been in Taurus for a little while. But it will stay in Taurus for about a year. If you think about how the solar system is, our solar system, you got Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter. Is Neptune one of the inner planets, or is Neptune an outer planet?
Outer.
Neptune's outer. Okay, is Jupiter an inner planet?
No. So
Okay.
it's the Sun, and then Mercury,
Venus,
Earth, Mars, asteroid belt,
okay.
then Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus,
Neptune.
Neptune, and then Pluto, which will always be a planet to me. And I refuse to fuck with NASA's definition of its. You know what? I'm going to stop myself because I feel very vehemently about this topic. And all I'm going to say is hashtag Pluto is a planet forever. So go ahead, Neva. Please continue talking about Jupiter.
All right. So the inner planets move a lot faster around the sun and impact our life in tiny day-to-day sort of ways. You hear people talk about Mercury retrograde like all the time. Well, that's because Mercury is closest to us and closest to the sun, and it goes the fastest.
Yeah, she's a baddie bitch who's constantly fucking with us.
Jupiter and Uranus are in the outer planets, and they impact more bigger, broader ideas. Okay, so that's why Jupiter stays in one sign, like it'll stay in Taurus for one whole year. And so there's 12 signs. It will take approximately 12-ish years to go through the entire zodiac sign thing. And when it is in Taurus, which it is right now, it expands our desire for self-love. Because Tauruses are all about the grounding, loving, snack-filled energy.
I do know that, considering I am a Taurus. So yes, my husband and I are both Taurus suns, which is awesome.
Fun.
Yes, he is also a Taurus moon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a lot of Taurus. And I'm a Cancer moon, so it's like, ooh, all right.
Oh, so many feelings.
So many feelings. Many feelings.
Between my wife and I, between our big three, we only have 4 signs.
Oh my God.
Like, we share 2 of them. Like, my sun is her rising. We have the same moon. And then we have different rising for me and sun for her.
That's crazy.
Cause I'm a Gemini sun, Virgo moon, Leo rising, and
Right.
she is a Sagittarius sun, Virgo moon, Gemini rising.
Oh wow.
And the crazy thing, our suns, the Gemini and Sagittarius, those are like opposite signs.
Yeah. You guys are on the opposite ends of the literally.
In just like every way.
Yeah.
It's like 2 people that on paper shouldn't work, but they like balance each other out just in the right way.
Yeah. Like putting Band-Aids on your back before our podcast starts.
That is true love.
Yes, it was true love, and it was really a delight to witness.
Okay. Do you have anything to add for Jupiter? Anything you think I missed?
No, I mean, I always like, it's like an optimistic
Yeah.
planet. And I always like that because I think Jupiter, what you learn growing up, like in elementary school, is like, oh, it's the big red storm. And I think it comes across as like angry when in reality, I'm like, no, I like the idea of Jupiter being this kind of like jovial gas giant that represents, optimism and growth and expansion. And it's like, it's the biggest planet in our solar system. And just let Jupiter be fat and happy, man. Like, I don't know.
Jupiter, I always feel like like wherever Jupiter is, that's going to be a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Jupiter's life of the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're going to bring the good snacks.
Yes. Especially when it's in Taurus. Tauruses be snacking.
All right. Would you like to tell us about Uranus?
I would love to tell you about my anus. I mean, Uranus.
Dude, I set you up for that, and I am so glad you picked it up.
I got you. I'm smelling what you're stepping in. Oh, man. We are children.
So if you can't laugh about it, then what the fuck is even the point?
I know. What are we doing? So Uranus, unlike Jupiter, orbits the sun once every 84 years. So it is known as like the maker of a generation. It is often called an ice giant because it's big, but the biggest thing in astrology, its like nickname is the Great Awakener, which I love and sounds like some D&D gothic badass shit. It also is ruled by the sign of Aquarius, which is like, oh, the age of Aquarius, and which is one, just a phenomenal song, and two, an actual thing.
Yeah. Yep.
It's a sign of like progress and human collectivity and everybody working together and like striving, breaking, generational bonds and moving forward. So yeah, Uranus is like the planet of innovation, revolution, and breakthrough, and like sudden changes, which you wouldn't think so because it takes 84 freaking years to orbit the Earth, but
sun. It orbits the sun.
Oh, it orbits the sun. Good God. I'm going back to like before the 1500s. I'm like, no, the Earth is the center of the universe. I'm a dumbass. No. Yes, so it orbits the sun once every 84 years.
And the Earth is flat. Wait, I mean.
Oh, right. It's that kind of podcast. We're going to have a whole new bunch of sponsors. It'd be funny if we had any. Please contact us at lostgirlspodcast.com to, if you want to sponsor. Anyway, Uranus is also associated with creativity, scientific genius, and the father of electricity, which is why electrical storms, outages, along with earthquakes are things that we could potentially be experiencing from now until June as well.
Really?
So, yes, really. Isn't that fun?
What do you mean? What do you mean the father of electricity?
Basically, like it. I don't know. It's like the mythic god of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. I was like, it's like Ben Franklin.
Like it's the key in the kite. You see it, right? Sorry.
or Nikola Tesla.
Nikola Tesla. Fuck yeah, Nikola Tesla. Oh man. Okay. But yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. We're just we're doing okay. So for our amazing listeners, we typically record Sunday mornings and we are recording Sunday night and we are campy. So that's on us. Let us know if you enjoy this more or less than our other episodes. If it's less, we understand.
It is a different energy.
It's a totally different vibe.
I didn't just roll out of bed.
Yeah, no. It's like we're barely awake with our coffee and we're a little subdued. Like, no. We're fully amped. Whew. Anyway,
Okay.
Uranus can also help move people out of their personal melodrama and into the larger human story. So, like, again, becoming part of the collective, which really also has to do with Aquarius as well. So, just a super fun fact, it's also associated with the parathyroid gland, the brain, and the nervous system,
Oh,
which I think is fun.
interesting.
Yeah. So that's just like a fun little addition. And it's blue and made of ice. Just as a planet.
I love the color blue.
I like cerulean blue. That was
That's
like
a good
always
one.
always one of my favorite crayons.
I think turquoise is my favorite blue.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just a,
Yeah.
just a fun blue tangent. Okay. So why do we care, Neva, that they are in conjunction? What does that energy look like for us?
Right. So, like you mentioned, it only happens once every 14 years that they are conjunct in the sky. And so it really sets off it's like a brand new cycle. Okay. So if you look back 14 years ago to 2010, and you think about like, what were you doing in your life at that time? Or were you starting something new or ending something? To today, you've kind of completed that cycle. And so this is like a brand new cycle of growth, breaking out of old patterns, like learning new things about yourself, breaking out of comfort zones. Something that I found very interesting when I was doing my research it encourages us to step into a deeper authenticity of ourselves.
I love that.
And I was like, that explains like how I've been feeling, especially this weekend. Because especially from the beginning of my Kickstarter and even before, I've been coming out of the broom closet a little bit,
Yeah!
and with this podcast and, anytime I realize like, oh my God, I have another family member like following my page and they're seeing these things. I had like a minor, like little,
Like, and oh God, they're going to know I'm a witch.
And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And you know what? It's been totally fine. And like amazing and great things have been happening. And literally in the last couple days, I've been like, but am I doing it enough? And I'm like, what do you mean? And it's like, wouldn't it be awesome to just be like totally out there? And I'm like, would it though?
Your Gemini is showing.
And
I
so,
love that.
it was just like inner battle in myself. It's like, do the things. I'm like, oh, but I'm scared.
But do it. But oh no. That's interesting because I've been feeling the same push, but with like my poly self life.
Yeah.
That wasn't a sentence that made sense, but
I followed it just fine.
Yeah, that's what matters. I love it. But yeah, and I've just been like, do I post enough polyamorous content?
Oh.
Like, and it's, finding validity in my own relationships and, teaching my kids about compersion. And, like my daughter mentioned something. She was like, was really happy. My friend had something good happen to her. And I was really happy for her because she was happy. And I was like, yeah, that's called compersion. Like when you're happy that someone else is happy for, even though you didn't cause it or had anything to do with it.
I love that I learn new words.
Hell yeah.
I'm just compersion.
Compersion. Yeah. Which is like a thing in the polyam world because it's like you're happy for your partner when they're happy, even if you're not the one making them happy. So like,
love that.
TMI warning, the first time my husband like went out on a couple dates with a girl, and then the first time they like got down and dirty. He came home and told me about it, and we like cheered in the kitchen and like jumped, and I was so happy for him. And I was like, "You did it!" And he was like, "I fucking did it!" And it was awesome.
Love that.
Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh my God, tell me everything." And he was like, "Oh my God, okay." And that's, that's conversion. It's like, I wasn't the one doing that to him, but he was so happy. I was happy for him. But lately I've been like, do I talk about it enough? Do I post about it enough? Like, I've been out of the broom closet, as we like to say, for a while. And out of the literal closet for even longer. So
Right.
it's like, let's tack it on. Gay, witch. I mean, just all the things. But yeah, I think I always held back on posting the polyam stuff because I was like, I have, like work people who follow me and like other parents from the kids' schools. And like, I don't know why I was so okay with them knowing I was a witch and super gay, but not also. And I was like, this is dumb. This is a huge part of me. They should know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the authenticity, the push, the drive to be more authentic.
I mean, I can only say personally, the more authentic, real Neva and part of that is like figuring out who you are anyway.
Yeah.
And the more I can be that person, it's like the more people that are meant for me are drawn to me. And then it's like a better, deeper relationship than I ever knew before.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, my friendships feel so much deeper now than they have previously.
Because I was just thinking about, like, I haven't really been on my fandom Facebook page much. I mean, I haven't been making a lot of fandom content, but I've been making more in-person friends. And it's almost like, because before, like, the internet or my fandom Facebook profile was that safe space that I could be myself fully because I didn't feel safe doing it like in person. But then I started finding places and people, or maybe I just started doing it, and in being myself, I found the places and the people who would love and accept me, like in real life. And like that was just like really fucking cool to like realize that recently.
Yeah. Even like in our conversations, I feel like you talk about more like people at the bar and at the gallery that you like have connections with, and I'm like, man, that rules. Yeah, I think this conjunction is definitely like pushing that energy.
Yeah. And so then it's a question of, do you act on that energy, or do you just sit and keep doing the same thing for 14 more years?
Right. And I think with the conjunction in Taurus, like Taurus is all about grounding and stability and, slow growth. How much do you awaken within yourself? Like, how much do you shake up? And
how comfortable are you with the discomfort?
Right. Oh man. Yeah, like you have to get used to a little bit of, or a lot of discomfort. Like, growth doesn't happen in your comfort zones.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. It's like, this is great. I've been uncomfortable for years. So.
And I was sitting here thinking about what I was doing in 2010. In April of 2010, I was giving my senior saxophone recital after I'd had to postpone it for a semester.
Oh, weird.
I wasn't prepared. It was the right choice. In the moment, I was absolutely devastated, but now looking back, I can say with certainty that my professors made the right decision and the right call. I definitely postponing that a semester was the right call. But yeah, my senior recital was like 14 years ago, a week ago. 2 weeks ago.
Do you want to know what I was doing in April of 2010?
Yes, please.
April 18th of 2010, I started dating my husband.
Loved that.
I went on a road trip with one of my friends from school. We had a blast. I came home, went to a mutual friend's party, and he was there. And he pulled the like, hey, you want to come over and watch a movie and eat pizza? And I was like, all right. And so I went over there and like, we did stuff. And then I was like, cool, peace out. And then he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't a one-night stand. And then we started dating. And then we got married almost exactly a year later.
Love that.
I know. And I was like, oh my God, it's been 14. It's 14 years. It was 14 years a couple days ago. Yeah.
Aw, that warms my heart.
Yeah, it's cute, I guess. But it is pretty cute.
Well, oh, I had one other question well, we kind of already covered it. I was going to say, how have you been feeling the energy from the eclipse and the conjunction?
It's been a lot.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't know how to describe the wars that are happening inside my body between emotions.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah. And from the lunar eclipse, the end of March, to the solar eclipse, April 8th, to the conjunction yesterday on the 20th.
And Mercury is in retrograde.
Plus Mercury is in retrograde. Ugh. It's just been like, hey, let's take all of your emotions and your feelings and put them in a cocktail shaker and just fucking mash it. And then whatever comes out. And that's great. And it's awesome. It's fine. It's like,
so with like the eclipse energy and this conjunction energy, there's a lot of like releasing. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you about the release that I did. I won't talk about that one on the podcast. But
interesting.
I get a lot of like downloads and messages in my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And last night I had a dream where like my hair was in a ponytail and I was washing it or something, and then it like a clean cut of my my hair, like a clean cut. It didn't fall out. It looked like someone had snipped it. I was like, oh my God. And then it like happened again. And so it's like snipping of my hair.
Ooh, that's so symbolic.
Well, hold for the text. 2 nights before, like the entire dream was my period. Like, and I even woke up and used the bathroom, and like this dream was so visceral and real. Like I thought I was on my, and like, no wait, that was a dream. This is real life. And when I went back to sleep, it was still period. And I woke up, I was like, okay, well this is clearly like something to release and something to shed.
Yeah.
It was like, I've never had a dream like that in my life.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
Apparently I have some shit to release.
Yeah, apparently.
Let go of.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, I had a couple nights ago like a horrific nightmare that was very... Have you seen the movie Get Out?
No.
Oh man. Okay. So it's extremely tense and like it's like anxiety horror. He's like, there's this man who is a man of color, and he's trying to escape a white family who's basically trying to like brainwash him. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Jordan Peele directed it and wrote it, and it's a fucking masterpiece. But anyway, my nightmare was like old family members in our old house doing that to me and my kids.
Oh my God.
It was horrible. And I was just like I couldn't like rescue them and get out of that house fast enough. I was like, oh my God, they're gonna like brainwash them, and they're gonna... It was the most anxiety. Like I woke up having a panic attack, which is the most fun way to wake up.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it was like 4 a.m, it was like just the beginnings of the day. And I was like, well, fuck, I'm definitely not going to be able to go back to sleep. And then had to like go and check on my kids to make sure they were there. But I don't normally have nightmares that are so, well, I mean, I do, but they're very far and few between. And this was just so visceral. And it was like, good God, like some of those old fears, I definitely need to like let go of those and be like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. You know, you escaped that situation, you got out.
Right. Yeah, anytime I do any sort of release spell, I'm always like, releasing my fears. I don't know what they are, but I'm releasing them.
Here you go.
Let them go.
As Elsa has said, let it go.
Dude, you know what we should do? We should agree to like keep a dream journal for like a week or something, and then we just do an episode on, because I have some cracked out dreams.
Yes, I agree. I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
Okay, stay tuned for that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I definitely have more like, what the fuck was happening dreams than I do like nightmares. But, oh my gosh. Okay.
Quick side tangent. I had a dream where I was wearing a pickle costume and roller skates.
I don't know, that sounds kind of sexy.
Like just a giant dill pickle and roller skates.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Oh God, I can't breathe. That's amazing. I want that to become reality, just so you know.
Oh, shoot.
Oh my God.
Shall I pull a card?
Yes, please. Let's pull a card.
Okay, well, this one popped right out. We'll go with that one. What do we have? Oh, interesting. 9 of Swords.
Oh. Is it because we're so anxious already?
Maybe. Okay, so here's what... Okay, so this deck is called Lilith's Attic Tarot. The creator did a 78-week deep dive into tarot and did one card per week, where the creator studied the card and then created a card in her style, which is like Sharpie and whiteout. And I'll show the card on camera so you can see it.
It's awesome.
But then what I want to note is there's like a door and it says knock, knock, knock. And so it's like, what I'm getting with this card is like, there's anxiety, you know, like there's some shit going on, but then there's also opportunity, maybe.
Yeah.
Is what that
Who's
feels
at the
like
door?
I don't know.
Who's at the door?
You have to open the door and see who it is, Maria.
Oh my God. Let's open the door.
Okay.
I like that. Neva, what is bringing you joy this week?
What is bringing me joy this week? I mean, we already mentioned my 129% funded Kickstarter.
Yeah, we did.
So, okay, I know it's bringing me joy. I had been neglecting my own personal meditation practice for it's been a little bit more than a couple weeks. Because like, I think you can meditate in lots of different ways, and sometimes I do it with art, but like when I sit down and I like meditate for real to like see what sort of messages I need to receive, I finally did that. And it was basically like, yeah, you missed a lot of messages while you were away, and some of them reached you and some of them didn't. So here's like an entire page of free writing.
Oh my goodness.
And you know what? Since I did that, I've been sleeping better and I have a lot less anxiety. And I'm just like, okay, so this is proof that I do need to do this on a much more regular basis.
Yeah.
Because it was like, here, you know, it's like, here, you, it's like when you go on vacation and then you check all your emails and you have like 500 new emails. It was kind of like that. And I know I didn't get through all of my messages, but I was like, this is enough for one day. We'll just stop here.
It's like, I'm sorry. I've reached max capacity on messages. Thank you, though.
But yeah, I've been sleeping better and I'm less anxious. And I'm like, okay, well, that's what I call a result. And then I had my period dream, so.
So crazy. And then, my period dream.
It can be a shirt, my period dream.
I'm marking that one down. My period dreams. Do.
So that's what's bringing me joy is, making a more mindful effort to get back into my meditation practice.
I like that. That's awesome.
What's bringing you joy, Maria?
Oh boy. I'm good. My chickens. So I bought chickens, and I know it seems like a really strange thing to be like, oh, your chickens are bringing you joy, but they are. But specifically, like I had chickens growing up. Great. But specifically watching my daughter with the chickens, she has become obsessed. Like she named all of them, and oh yeah, I got to name one, and I named it Piccata because I thought it was hilarious because it's chicken piccata.
Does that mean something? Is that a food?
It's a chicken dish, like in an Italian restaurant with like capers and a lemon. It's good. But I thought it was just funny. It's like the one gray chick we have in there. And so I named her Piccata.
Love that.
Yeah. And so Gemma has named all the other ones. Mostly. Colin got one in. It was like, I want one named Nebula. And I was like, done. Which is interesting because I'm pretty sure she's gonna lay green eggs, which is funny. But yeah, she has no fear or compunction about just picking them up and handling them. And like, they've pooped in her hands and she's like, meh, I'll just go wash my hands. Like she just picks them up and she strokes their heads and she talks to them and she like gives them little whisper kisses and then she puts them back. And last night they wouldn't settle. And so she went and willingly gave up one of her stuffed animals and put one of her stuffed animals in the chicken brooder so that they had like her smell in there, which was so fucking cute.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And she has I don't know what she's like. I am their mama. They are my babies. I am the chicken mama. And I'm like, fucking okay. Like, I thought they were my chickens, but fuck me, I guess. Like, and they're teeny tiny, like they're only a week or two old.
Yeah.
Like they're just starting to feather, and she is obsessed. She feeds them, she changes their water. She's like, these are my chores now. I want to take care of the chickens. I want to do nothing else. I just want to be with chickens.
You're going to have a chicken in a diaper in your house soon.
Yeah. I was like, that's what I was like, no chickens in the house. And she's like, but what? I was like, no chickens in the house.
But what about?
I was like, no. When we put up the coop and the chicken run, you can go and sit in there as much as you like. No chickens in the fucking house.
She will take a pillow and a sleeping bag and go sleep with them.
Probably. Chickens are dumb as shit. They can't see in the dark. So like, good luck.
She has to protect them from the foxes.
Oh yeah. I mean, we have stuff in our yard, so we had to we're putting up a whole gate and everything. But anyway, that's what's bringing me joy. It's not my chickens, but like watching her with the chickens. Like I didn't expect such a bonding between them. Mm-hmm. And it's just
I love that.
Yeah, it's been really cute. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's our episode.
I think so. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And please follow us on all of our social media things. We have an Instagram and a Patreon and a Facebook.
And like and subscribe and stars and Patreon.
Yay. And share. Sharing really helps too. Even if you don't want to listen to us for 40 minutes, just share it and hope that somebody else does, or just download it. That helps our numbers like a lot.
Yes. So. And thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Yay! See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.